They'll be calling you a radical. I'm going to start this right here. This was done 50 years ago. It's pristine. I'm an old rock mason. That was done 10 years ago. I've repaired that 4 times. Full of mold. Stick on, I'm a rock mason. So I'll start this video right here. We're going to go for a walk. We're going to talk about the salmon collapse that proves that Fukushima is genocide in the Pacific Ocean. It's unequivocal proof now, as I've been screaming and screaming and screaming and yelling that 2016 will tell the tale. And these fishermen, I mean, shoot the messenger. They're insane, by the way. Well, America. I mean, how ignorant is this place? America drunk on ignorance and proud of it. Gone, gone. You seen the debt lately? You looked at it, you see anybody even bring it up? Look, their wealth is piled on your debt back, but you got a shiny coffin to drive back and forth in a circle, you know, to go to work, you know. Wow. Go further and further. Maybe you can get a loan that lasts 10 years on a car now. So, we're going to talk about the salmon collapse. Now look, first off, before I get to these numbers, I'm going to get to these numbers in incredible detail. We'll talk about, by the way, I'm friends with that family. You know, I'm like, this is how messed up they are here. I says, I'll fix that. You know, of course, I've had leukemia. You know, they'll let it go. They'll probably tear it down. You know, that's what they do. Lath and plaster. I did the scenes in the Brownie Center. I'm the only lath and plaster, but I've had leukemia 5 years. You know, I'm it. These guys will go in and actually take masterpiece walls this thick, tear them out. They're doing it right now to the Stewart Library and replace it with Chinese freaking dryboard, which we know Chinese dryboard are actually using dogs and cats. That's what's in your house. You got fake stucco with styrofoam all molded up. You know, the bigger, and your fairy tale sitting in your fairy tale freaking real estate bubble. It's all fake. None of it's real, you know. I could sell it, move. Where are you gonna move? You know, it's unbelievable, these molded up freaking, I'm a rock mason. No, you're not. Sticking that fake shit on. It's all facade. I'm a fisherman, you know. Buy a boat, there's no fish. They're still selling freaking fish tours in Oregon. People are showing up, $4.50 a day. Yeah, I talked to a guy right here. I says, you know, there's no fish. You're not going to catch it. You didn't catch anything last year. The Bonneville's the only number that was halfway strong last year, and that's because it's so heavily protected. It's in collapse. So I've been waiting. You know, I've been tracking this. This is the year to confirm that this is Fukushima. You know, and I like all these people who write these fucking pathetic books. And you know, look, I'll get to the numbers. I want people to understand these pathetic fucking books that have been written. Oh my God, they're pathetic. You know, YouTube took the field because YouTube's a virtual library. And look, you have to do heavy research. You have to be in the theater. You have to do the work. I mean, it's that simple. You know, it's like you could sit around, you walk in the library, any library, 99.9999% of every book, literature ever written is pure shit. It's like painting. It's like, you know, any of the communication forms. It's junk. I mean, you can go in there and they haven't been pulled off the shelf in 50 years. People don't read books anyway, Steinbeck. You know, it's amazing. Because YouTube took that. Now, so you sit around, you watch a video, so you spin another video, the analysis of the analysis. Oh, it's a false flag. I mean, you think about people that have branded themselves in insanity. Well, it's nothing new. You could go pull books off the shelves in libraries and you can read them and you're like, what the fuck was that insane, mentally ill freaking dogma drinking Kool-Aid? Because they're just feeding into their own fucking illness, their sickness. You know, because America's sick. It's degenerate. You know, everything's got to fit their fucking right pill, fucking left pill, dogma burger eating fucking freaks. So let's get to the numbers. Here we go. So, year over year, biggest collapse. They've been tracking the salmon, at least in Oregon, for 100 years. Alaska, not as much. Alaska started to collapse right after Fukushima. You know, Trinational, based in Rome, owns all the tuna boats. They own everything. You know, same old Samo. You know, just like the rest of America has been, you know, up to the top, teeny pot of the pyramid. But free market is good. Yay! Freaking participation rate lowest in American history. So, here we go. You go, let's start clear up at the top of the greatest beast of them all, the Kenai. Let's start there. The Kenai, as the native story goes, the big accident. How are we going to survive on this rock called Earth? The god salmon came forward. I will give you my flesh. Second, how will I survive? the god water stepped forward and says, I will give you water for salmon to live in water. This is how hallowed and sacred. What happened to the buffalo? Oh yeah, what happened to the natives in California? Stanford, let's name Stanford after a tree after we cut down all the sequoias. The sequoias, by the way, right now are dying, and they're 5,000 years old. Oh, it's just drought. Scientists are mystified, they're baffled, they're fucking stumped. That's all, that's all. So the K9 had a big rush early, and I'm like, that's a panic run. Don't get freaking thing, this is not good. These are the biggest, strongest beasts of them all. You know, 50, 60 pounders. Sometimes bigger than that. It collapsed. They had to shut it off 10 days early. So 1.7 million last year, 1.3. Now let's start walking out. Let's go to Copper River. They get your big, thick Copper River cuts, because we can turn anything into a luxury good. You don't think so? Grey Goose vodka? So, here we go. I got a Porsche, some of the junkiest cars that ever. How about a Jaguar? Oh my God, what junk. I mean, unbelievable freaking. So, how about Volkswagen? Hitler's little bug. So, they're clean, right? It's green, right? Kind of like nuclear energy. It's green, right? Belafonte, you know, Fukushima. So, here's the Copper River. 1.47 million, the 10-year average. 1.337 million last year. 800,000 this year. Now remember, they've been keeping track for 100 years in Oregon. Never have they had they've had gradual drops like this, Zane Gray, gill netting. They've had gradual drops like this, Rachel Carson, DDT. You know, they've had gradual thing, overfishing, 1990s, poisoning, corporate freaking scumbaggery. But it's protected, and they've spent billions in this comeback. The Bonneville Little Billion, you know, hatcheries, what's escapement, what's that? Record escapement in 2011, record escapement in 2011. They forecast the greatest number. You can look it up all over. 2016 going to be the biggest number in freaking Oregon fishing history. That's how many got out. What happened 5 years ago? They go to sea for 5 years, salmon. Don't forget that. They go to sea for 5 years. So, okay, so what happened? Copper River, this is by numbers on sonar, unarguable numbers, not by weight. I'm talking, because we got boots on the ground, top fishermen, they're coming in sucked up, half weight. I mean, it's unarguable, so let's move on down. The Fraser in British Columbia, the biggest one-year drop-off in the history, the lowest numbers in the history, 90% drop-off, gone. I mean, a catastrophe from hell. What's a dead tide pool? So then we go, let's go down a little further. We start to pick up Washington, the state of Washington. Emergency closure of the Puget Sound. What? May 2nd, emergency closure. Freaking biggest one-year-over-year drop in history by many, many times. Let's go further south. Let's get to Oregon now. Now we'll jump to southern Oregon first because it's 90% collapse. It's borderline extinction. The stillheads. How about the sturgeon up there washing up all dead? How about we go clear up into the Yellowstone? Oh, the drainage isn't connected because that flows into the Atlantic. Oh, the earth isn't connected. We could draw a line on the equator. Ha! You're so fuck. I mean, the jet stream. I mean, I did a video standing right there, March 15th. Of course, I did them every day, and I tagged in there. It's gone now, but the government was tracking Fukushima into Sacramento, and it's right there. You look up that video. 12 hours after. Fugo me not. Remember when I sucked up to nothing, weighed 190 pounds, and went up and let that balloon up on 10,000 feet right there at the top of Mount Ogden? Fugo me not. So it's borderline extinction. California, gone, over. It is extinction. You know, Crescent City. You know, those. I mean, I remember being a Avila at Diablo and these fishermen arguing and fighting with me. And I'm like, really? Why don't you step in and fight with me, you dumb fucker? How are you going to fucking blame it on environmentalists when there's no fucking fish? Shoot the message. That's just how ignorant they are. Fuck, go buy some more. But boats are still selling like crazy. It's a 0% interest rate because it's a cliche. It's a facade. So let's get to the Bonneville. This is the biggie. This is the biggie. Heaviest, most protected. Record numbers last year, just like it should have been this year. I've been tracking it. Watch it. Spring run was horrible. So we're right in the heart of the fall run. Heart. Last year, yesterday, 44,000. This year, 10,000. 18,000, 17,000, 3,000, 2,000, 3,000. 65% collapse year over. Never happened, never happened. Now, I'm an ex-professor, you know, please, University of Blackball. I want people to very much know when I started the Million Mass March, me and the Fairhurst cousins in Boston and myself started it online. John and his cousins picked me up at the airport in Baltimore. When I started it, it's the biggest social movement in the world. I gave the inaugural speech. I had platelet counts of 38 that day. I stayed at the Nader house on their invitation. They almost killed me. They're not activists in that fucking house. Boy, did they blow it. The greatest social movement in the world right now, as I started right there. I slept on a park bench with platelet counts of 38. I organized the police escort. That's my work. One guy did that. You know, so you can deny my work. I really don't give a fuck. That's the way it is in the spirit of Fawn McKay Brody. I learned from her. You know, she would do so much heavy work before she fucking wrote her book. The rest of it's just shit out there. Yeah, YouTube's a crowded, fucked up place. So the Bonneville number is 60% fucking year-over-year collapse. Never happened. We know that that has to be an outlander. There has to be something that caused that. There has to be something that caused that. Well, there's only one abstract event. The rest of it's gradual like this. What was the abstract event? Fukushima happened. You can go in denial all you want about it. You can go in denial all you want about it. Oh, now it's got out of vogue, so I'm going to call it a false flag. Dutch sense has lost his fucking mind. You know, Dutch? You know, I was in Amsterdam last year. You got no Dutch sense. I can tell you that right now, because go there to that part of the world. Oh, do they know Fukushima? Go to freaking Denmark. Go to Norway. Go to Sweden. Go to freaking the Netherlands. Go to Austria, go to Germany. Oh, they know Fukushima. I was in the aquarium in Copenhagen last year, and the guy we started talking, he physically started to cry. Not here. Here, they're like, hey, yay, let's go buy a new pickup truck. Fishermen who can't fish. Skiers who can't ski. That's the Olympic downhill right there. They can't ski. Surfers who can't surf. It's all cliche. You know, I'm a fisherman, what's a bow? I'm a carpenter, what's a hammer? I'm a butcher, what's a cow? I'm Jill Stein. I'm an environment. The only thing green about fucking Jill Stein's her bank account. You know, I'm going to fight pipelines. You know, more power to you. What's Fukushima? The fucking dead blue well. The pod of dead blue wells in the fucking room. The fucking Pacific Ocean, the mother of all of you stood by and watched the nuclear cartel. It's clean, right? It's clean. What's nuclear waste? What's Fukushima? What's Mayak? What's fucking Rocky Flats? Fucking what's Chernobyl? What's 3 Mile Island? Fucking these boiler the Earth's water. That's a fucking good idea. Fucking it's burning fucking holes in the atmosphere. Fucking it's gamma rays. As I said, fuktonium. Fuktonium. I said it's fuktonium. You're going to denial. You don't care. You know, I don't give a fuck, because this virtual library, I did the fucking work. Oh, I'll write my books. Remember, I was given 2 months to live. It's going to give you leukemia. It's going to Prophet Blanche in Logic and Reason. This fucking epic catastrophe, Barry Antoinette, you can get all caught up in political theater because America is drunk on fucking ignorance. Really drunk on fucking ignorance. Really. Horribly drunk on ignorance and proud of their ignorance. This is a fucking library. My fucking work will stand fucking for fucking, you know, a long fucking time. You know, it's going to give you leukemia. I got leukemia. Type of leukemia you cannot survive. It's less than 1% misdiagnosed over and over and over and over. I'm not going to fucking die. You know, I led that fucking march, and I hope to see everybody there this year. I love you, John. I love all you guys. Remember who started this thing. John Anthony Fairhurst, and, you know, I know he's gone gun mad, and fucking Johnny got his gun, you know, and but that doesn't matter. We don't care what your opinion on guns. We don't care about your opinion on, you know, gay marriage, you know, what God you pray to, whatever. We don't care. We don't care. We care about the concrete freaking foundation of this. We care about the air that we breathe, the water that we fucking drink. I'm a pro-tariff guy. You know, I'm Hamilton. I can sing and fucking dance. How many fucking things did I do at Hamilton's grave? You know, I let them steal my work. Go ahead. Go ahead, because it's branded. Thank God for the YouTube camera. In the spirit of the great Fawn McKay Brody, she did this. These are the people that built the nuclear reactors at Fukushima. And I'll say this lastly, this proves it. This proves it's fuktonium. You don't even know what fuktonium is. How do they make plutonium? They induce out of the ground, out of the earth, uranium. Very common substance, like diamonds, like gold, like silver, that's everywhere, and they turn it into the luxury good. How do they do this? They induce it with a chemical reaction. They have no answer for the waste. They never did. Mox fuel, bringing it back through Savannah River. Put it in a hole. I'm the guy that freaking announced from the water school that it whip blew up. They were the people that built whip. They lied. Remember they lied? Oh, it cost $2 billion to clean it up. Oh, it's cheap. It's clean. It's poisoned the earth. We crossed the line. I will say this. Post-ignorance Kevin Blanch is greater than war profiteering universities and or museums and art schools. Stay tuned.